Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the gameplay trailer, all the gameplay reveal, Courtside report, information that came out today about NBA 2K25, and talk about what looks like it's new, what looks like it may not be great, and talk about the good and the bad of what came out today and the news that dropped today here in my team. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 30,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, tons of consistent daily my team content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. And while today's information does not specifically pertain to my team, we will be getting a my team blog at some point in the next couple of weeks with these Road to 2K25 streams. Just by the way, there is a locker code for Twitch drops available in the Road to 2K25 streams if you want to watch those. But we'll be getting more specific news and my team news later on this month. But it was announced today, number one, that 2K25 is going to be available 2 days early if you pre-order it. So September 4th instead of September 6th, which is a Wednesday. September 4th is. So that is when the game will be available if you pre-order the game. And I will say there's some cool stuff that they announced today. I think there's some cool stuff that could be really interesting, and there's some stuff that I have some questions about as well, for sure. But let's watch this trailer first. We'll start with watching the trailer, and then after that, we'll break down the Courtside report and all the new stuff that they released, and we'll talk about what we see in the... With that being said, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Let's watch this trailer. So we have ourselves the trailer. I hope it's not too loud. Turn down just a little bit just in case. All right, so there's the trailer for 2K25. Now, I would like to go through and break down specific things about the trailer real quickly, and then we'll talk about the Courtside report more in depth. But let's just start. I muted it so y'all don't have to hear it again. I can talk. Let's just start with looking at the stuff that has been talked. So it's the first thing that they're promoting is the 9,000 new gameplay animations, whatever. Most of those apparently jumpers. I don't know. I would think 9,000 it's game more than jumpers, but signature animations for a lot of different players. Here's the thing. I'm sure it's still going to be the type of game where 2 or 3 animations of each type are actually good, and then the rest of them don't wind up really being used, especially when it comes to my team as we get later in the year and things of that nature. But first thing that they actually break down when they start actually showing the gameplay is the I mean, they show these new signature shots. Do we really care about these signature shots? I personally think, again, some of them will be good, some of them won't. We'll talk more about what that means when we go over the Courtside report and how these signature shots work. The advanced pro stick shooting mechanic, that is the rhythm shooting, and we'll talk about that as well here in a second. Signature go-to shots are kind of what they're talking about. It's like a chainable shot, apparently, where if you hold your right stick up, it's kind of like last year where if you flicked your right stick up, you got like a signature dribble package. If you hold it up, it'll give you the signature dribble package into this player's signature shot, whatever they have. So some of those I'm sure will actually be pretty good to create space and stuff. A new defensive movement system. This apparently has to do with like L2, LT, intense defense and being able to cut players off better. I do like seeing this strip animation right here. That Wimby strip animation on Giannis is a new animation, and that's a lifelike animation. It's cool. Things like that will be neat. Hopefully not too insanely overpowered, but I think that type of stuff will be cool. When they say tighter controls, what does that really mean? New motion styles, like what does that really mean? That I'm not entirely sure. This whole I will say much of this gameplay is just the same type of stuff. Now, rhythm shooting, this looks like very smooth catch and shoot ability, and it looks like it will give you the ability. One thing I will say is the new dribble engine and the new rhythm shooting seem like they will give you the ability to chain things together better. Now, I will say the rhythm shooting looks like it's going to be something that takes a while to adjust to. And again, we'll talk more about that here in a second, because I'm going to go into the actual Courtside report and talk about each specific thing a little bit more in depth. But I mean, I will say there are a couple of new animations that are pretty cool in this game, but a lot of this stuff, I also think, like a lot of these jump shot animations, it's all going to depend on how the contest system is, whether or not these things are actually very usable. As we see Bronny at the end of the trailer, that's kind of funny. We see Bronny and Braun right here at the end of the trailer. You know they had to fit him in here somewhere. That's kind of funny. Right. Bronny throws the lob to Braun, and where is it? There we go. Bronny and Braun celebrating again. That's kind of neat. But yeah, looks like that is the entire trailer. That is the gameplay reveal that we got today. Now, they did show a little bit more gameplay stuff when they brought Baluba in to talk about some of the gameplay stuff. If I could find the clips that they showed where it was actual gameplay, not just cinematic angles of the gameplay. But I have to find actually where that is. It's somewhere in here. Maybe they'll actually break it down a little bit. Can we please break it? Okay, maybe not. Well, I don't know where all the stuff with the gameplay is. I know they did bring Mike Wang in briefly and show certain gameplay angles and things like that of like what the scoreboard looks like and stuff. It'd be nice if I could actually find it, but I can't seem to find it right now. So I guess we'll have to look at that later. But we do have a Courtside report here, pro play and gameplay Courtside report. Now, I will say they didn't go exceedingly in depth, in my opinion, in terms of the way that a lot of this stuff looks, but a new dribble engine is probably the biggest thing that it looks like is being announced with the new gameplay. Using pro play technology, NBA 2K25 introduces an all-new dribble engine, entirely reimagined system built from the ground up and marking the biggest change to the 2K gameplay engine in 15 years. This could be really cool. And it looks like the main intention of this is to be able to chain dribble moves together more, chain jump shots and dribble moves and things like that together more. Should, in theory, give you a little bit more control as a player. Hopefully it's effective. Hopefully actually being a skillful dribbler is something that winds up being a valuable thing. Because last year, especially in my team, you didn't need to know how to dribble to be good at the game. And I know that like dribbling doesn't need to be the most important thing, but you didn't need to know how to dribble at all to be good at the game. You could just switch all, run around in circles, switch all off ball on defense, and then just run around in circles offensively. And you were pretty good to go for the most part if you understood spacing and stuff like that. Like I think the gameplay lost a lot of skill gap last year, and I'm hoping that the dribble engine will reintroduce some of that skill gap when it comes to dribbling, when it comes to shot creation and creating space, things like that. So this could be really, really good if it actually is effective. Now, what this means in terms of how dribble moves work and if it's literally going to be completely rewriting how you dribble, well, we'll see. That's something obviously we won't know until we're actually able to play the game. These signature go-to shots look like basically shots that you can... I think these are the shots that are chained together with their signature dribble moves. If you hold the right stick up, it does the dribble chain into their jump shot or whatever, their signature jumper. So they're showing Tatum with his sidestep three ball, Halliburton with like a step back, and Curry with his, I don't know, Jamal Crawford-esque layup package, I guess. And I don't know, like I'm sure some of these animations will be really good and will create a lot of space. Some of them, on the other hand, will probably not. You have to remember, in the gameplay trailer, it looks great, but I think it's pretty realistic that in game, depending on how the contest system is and how defense is, a lot of this stuff might not actually be particularly effective. And that's the thing to keep in mind with a lot of this dribbling. It's going to really depend on how effective it actually is in game, because it looks cool here, but shooting against a CPU on rookie doesn't really showcase what we really want to know, especially at a cinematic angle. It doesn't really showcase what we truly want to see when it comes to gameplay. Shot canceling is complementary to signature go-to shots, which gives you the creative freedom to, I guess, cancel shots, transition into other dribble moves, chain advanced shot motions together. I don't exactly know what that means, but this looks cool. Again, looks like it will give you a little bit more control as a player to not just have pump fakes as your option in terms of not shooting the ball, but actually be able to like do step backs and hezzies and certain moves and things that will actually chain together into a fake shot hesitation, able to create shots out of it. Stuff like that. The ability to actually react to the way that your defender is guarding you in real time, hopefully. And hopefully make the gameplay a little bit more lifelike in terms of the way they respond and a little less animation based, although I'm sure it will still be super animation based. We'll have to see how effective this truly is, but I do think the shot canceling looks at a very minimum pretty neat. Shot timing profiles, this is really interesting. This is a new feature this year that is intended, the way they explained it on the stream, was it's intended to kind of help newer players and people who aren't as proficient and skilled at 2K to have a couple of different options in terms of how they want to play. And as y'all can see, shot timing profiles, it looks like there's 5. There's difficulty based, real player percentage, low risk reward, normal risk reward, and high risk reward. And a low risk reward shot provides a more forgiving shot timing, but emphasizes taking smart shots, which I guess means you will have a less of a percentage chance to make contested shots and tough shots, whereas high risk reward shots will reward a skilled player for making a higher volume of difficult shots if they can master the timing. So again, this is going to be something that I think the best players will likely play on high risk reward, because it'll be a less forgiving shot timing, but it will also give you the ability to hit tougher shots. So I think a lot of skilled players are going to use that. Whereas if you're new to my team or new to 2K in general, you're just playing with your friends, you might want to start on the low risk reward. What difficulty based specifically means, I don't really know, because that's a whole different category compared to low risk, normal risk, and high risk reward. But this is something that I could honestly see myself starting on normal risk reward and then moving up to high risk reward as I get better at the game. Outside of that, I don't see anything else on this screen that looks new besides the shot timing profile and the layup timing profile, which layup timing profile will basically, I think actually putting this on real player percentage will probably be the way to go realistically, from what I've seen in the past, where you don't actually have to time your own layups. But we'll see. Maybe layup timing will be better this year and you'll actually be rewarded effectively for putting it on one of the higher risk reward options instead of leaving it on real player percentage. But we'll have to wait and see again how that works online, because last year you couldn't even use real player percentage online. So will you be able to use real player percentage online in the first place? That I don't really know when it comes to my team. We'll have to wait and see. Pro Stick rhythm shooting. This is a new feature with the Pro Stick. It's an optional shooting method that rewards you for accurately mimicking the timing and tempo of your favorite player's signature shots. And what it does, you move your right stick down, you hold it down, and then as they are shooting the ball, releasing the ball, you move your right stick up to match the speed of the jump shot. How this works, I'm not entirely sure yet. Will this be something that we use? Because in the blog, it sounds as though this will reward, again, a more skillful player. Is this something that we will use for every shot? Like, is this something we're really going to use? This is going to be the new shooting mechanic that's more effective for every shot? Like, is this something that I'm going to be shooting all of, even a wide open catch and shoot 3? Am I shooting it with this? Or is this something you're only going to use when you're dribbling and chaining moves together? I don't really know. Again, we're going to have to see how effective this is, how well it works, whether it's, because here's the honest truth. If y'all remember shot aiming in 2K21, I believe, shot aiming was like really, really OP to start the year. And then it was broken for the rest of the year. Like, it didn't work properly after that. Shot aiming was not really, in my opinion, a very good addition to the game, and it didn't last long term, and it was broken in a lot of ways. This rhythm shooting, it's a new style of shooting that doesn't involve pressing a button. How broken will it be? How effective will it be? Is it going to be balanced? It's going to be interesting to see how good this rhythm shooting is and whether or not it's actually worth using and how often it's worth using, whether, again, it's something that you only use when you're shooting off the dribble and trying to chain dribble moves together into jumpers and stuff, or if it's something that's literally now that's how we shoot the ball from now on. Like, I really don't know how this is going to work, but again, that's going to be something that's really interesting to see in 2K25. Defensive movement system. This looks like basically anticipate your opponent's next move by using the Pro Stick on defense to shuffle or move laterally to cut off their ability to drive past you. This feature can be used to cut off ball handlers or interrupt off-ball movement and passing lanes. The ability to use this to interrupt off-ball movement might be really effective as a way to counter backdoors, to like be able to click on and cut off the backdoor to a certain extent. It'll be interesting to see how this works. Is there an official Pro Play Courtside report? That would be really cool. Oh, there is. Oh, nice. They actually have an entire Courtside report as well here as well. So we'll read through this real quickly as well. Is there anything truly interesting that we have to see? Anything new, I should say. I didn't even realize that there was an actually whole dribble move. Oh, here we go. So an all new dribble engine. This is the same, I think, gameplay clip though from the trailer, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like chaining dribble moves together is just more effective. That's what seems to be the emphasis that they've put on the new dribbling, is chaining dribble moves together. Signature go-to shots. I mean, this doesn't look like they're actually giving us much more information. But yeah, holding up on the Pro Stick, like I said, will trigger the signature go-to shots, which will dribble into shot combos, basically. Some of these will be good, some of these won't. How viable will they be in my team? I'm not sure. Last year, nobody really used the signature breakdown dribbles all that much, at least in my team. Shot canceling, like I said, could be really cool. I'm just really interested to see. It says it lets you break out of any advanced shot. So is an advanced shot only a signature go-to shot? What is an advanced shot specifically? That's going to be my question. How useful really is this? But start a step back jumper, cancel out a shot, move into a dribble different move, into a different dribble move, drive to the basket. Like, this could be pretty cool. Already talked about the shot timing profiles. Again, we'll see how that works and how good it is. Which one is the best? I would assume high risk reward will likely wind up being the one that most competitive players use. 2K24 added the shot timing visual cue, and it looks like you can now customize your visual cue to any point in your shot when it comes to the custom jump shot builder. That's not going to apply to my team. Then my team, I think you will be limited to jump, set point, push, or release, which I will again probably use set point for most of the year like I did last year, unless it works differently. Pro stick rhythm shooting. This is again going to be really interesting. You first pull your shot stick down to start the shot, and then as you see their jump shot animation reach its set point, you push the shot stick up and try to match the timing and speed of the player's push motion. This intuitive down-up motion rewards you for accurately mimicking each player's signature shooting motion. Is this something that will be worth using on every shot? Is it going to take too long to really be effective? Is it something off the dribble? That's going to be the main question that I wonder. But it says a player who masters rhythm shooting will raise their ceiling and outplay someone who uses traditional shooting, creating more possibilities to demonstrate your skills. And it says your shot timing profile also applies to rhythm shooting, allowing you to choose a low or high risk reward experience as detailed further up, like we already talked about with the shot timing profiles. People are saying it was a bit too challenging, but people who kept practicing grew to love it and can't go back to traditional shooting. I wonder truly how much the people at the dev team actually play the game. Like, I've never seen Mike Wang play the game. I'd like to see how the gameplay of these people. Do they have competitive level players on their dev team? I highly doubt it. But I am really interested to see how effective this rhythm shooting is and whether or not, like, this is the shot timing where people are going to use with every shot. But again, it does seem like there is a lot more customization with how you shoot this year, and I think that could be kind of cool. The defensive movement system. This is the clip they showed in the trailer with Wemby stripping down on Giannis and stripping the ball. That's a cool animation. The new defensive cutoff system with the right stick. Oh, using the right stick defensively. That's actually kind of interesting. Okay, so that's what they say when they mean the pro stick, is the right stick there. You can control your player and quickly slide laterally into position to cut off an offensive player's attack. If you read the ball handler and anticipate their drive properly, you can stonewall the offense, cause them to fumble the ball. I'm sure ball handle rating will matter a lot when it comes to whether or not you lose the ball there, but that could be something that is really neat. Oh, this is huge. Contest system. They made significant changes to the contest system. We now use a dynamic weighting system rather than a fixed one that evaluates the impact of defense at the start of a shot versus the release and computes the proper coverage impact accordingly. All I want to know is that it just doesn't slow down and speed up my jumpers as much. It's just really obnoxious. It does seem as though perimeter and interior defensive ratings, as well as height differential, play a more important role in calculating defensive coverages. That means Kristaps Porzingis might be more overpowered than ever because of how big he is as an early shooting big. We'll see if we get a good KP early in the game, but these changes better reflect what you see happening on screen and reward your strong defensive sequences to decrease the competition's chances of converting their shots. I just don't want the contest system to be the way it was this year, where you just get contested by the CPU constantly. Please, 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 please make the AI less obnoxious. This is the AI gameplay. Let's see what they got here. It says they made improvements to court spacing, offense, defense, coaching, and AI difficulty. Court spacing. Their new spacing engine has a new spacing engine. That sounds good. Has over 20 adjustment locations from inside the three-point line that feeds AI a constant stream of spacing information, yielding lifelike results. Individual freelance has also been designed to account for this new spacing engine. Fingers crossed that I can just get my players to stay on the hashes and stay in the corners and just actually stay where they are and not cut. Just let me run my offense if I want to. Maybe comp freelance and 5-out freelance, things like that will actually work the way they're supposed to this year. Revamped our cut to basket logic for the AI to lessen untimely cuts to the rim in freelance by your AI teammates, leading to better driving. Okay, this is good. That's what I was asking for. Hopefully the AIs aren't just cutting for no reason and doing stupid stuff. That would be really nice. A redesign of our defensive help logic, allowing for better pursuit angles and rotations. This could be kind of cool, but hopefully this doesn't mean that AI defense is going to be better than ever and the CPU is just going to play for you, which again is what I think a lot of people who just sit in off ball would like. I would really like hard off ball to be worse this year. Fingers crossed. You can save and share playbooks with the NBA 2K community. That will not matter for my team, so I don't think I care much about that. AI difficulty is now based on more than just shooting percentages. Lower difficulties will experience less aggressive offense and defense and make fewer strategy changes or adjustments. We scaled on-ball defensive delays per difficulty, so attacking the basket on lower level AI is easier, including increased body up win resolutions for easier blowouts. I guess that means that playing on an easier difficulty will be easier. That's cool. What I care about, again, is off-ball defense. How good is the AI defense truly going to be this year? Will I be able to slide an off-ball CPU? Will you actually make people play defense for themselves and not allow the game to just reward them and play defense for them? Because off-ball defense, especially with Switch All, was the best it has ever been this year, and it needs to be better. It needs to be not as good in 2K25 so that the gameplay is better and more fun. Learn 2K. This is cool. This is not my team related, but this is something that I think for people who are new to 2K will want to take advantage of. Different tutorials, beginner and advanced tutorials, film room. I'm not totally sure what that means, but mini games as well is really cool. I think there will be a lot of cool stuff in this Learn 2K that'll actually be pretty useful. And I think certain things, learning certain things like the new dribble engine, the new rhythm shooting, that type of stuff will actually be pretty effective, even for somebody who's a good player like maybe myself and other people who have been playing 2K for a long time. This might be an actually pretty useful place to spend a lot of time early in the game, learning the new skills, learning the new mechanics that are in the game, and hopefully being able to get better at the game by doing that. And I think as a whole, this is a very cool addition. Mini games as well is kind of neat. Like, I know people like that type of stuff, so this does give people, it looks like, a little bit more to do in terms of tutorial practice mode, that type of stuff in my team, or not in my team specifically, but in 2K that hasn't been that way in the past. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. Being able to again practice and unlock a lot of skills and continue to improve the game. Hopefully this will reward the gameplay, like make the gameplay a little bit more skill-based, because last year I just don't think it was very skill-based at all, and hopefully these tweaks will definitely improve that a lot, because I just think the skill gap was as small as it's ever been last year in 2K24. Closing remarks. Is there anything important here? No, doesn't really look like it. So that's all we got in terms of gameplay. I would really like to know how off-ball defense is, how fades are, how effective backdoors actually are this year. There's a variety of things that I would like to know about 2K25 gameplay, but this does look as though it is going to create a bit more control for a skilled player, both offensively and defensively this year, in terms of being able to manually get more stops, being able to manually create more space, cancel shots, respond more to the way that your opponent's defense is playing, and hopefully create a bigger skill gap and more reward for being good at the game than there was in the past, specifically this past year in 2K24. So that looks encouraging to me. I see a pretty good amount of good in this blog and in this trailer and all that type of stuff, and that's neat. So hopefully y'all are excited about 2K25. I am kind of excited about 2K25. Now I will say this, if my team is gambling only, I will have a hard time being very excited about this game. That's the honest truth at the end of the day, and that's going to be the most important thing, because gameplay doesn't matter that much if you can't get the cards you want in my team specifically. But I think the 2K24 gameplay was pretty god-awful after Season 1. So an improvement in gameplay was always something that would be a plus, and fingers crossed this year is an actual improvement in gameplay. That we will have to see. But with that being said, that is going to do it for this video, a 22-minute long video. Hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back aboard 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.